Hi, this is my first YouTube video. This is going to be a YouTube channel where I just yap, kind of, and also put down my thoughts for myself and other people. Today, I wanted to talk about change and what it means and looks like to change as a person to better yourself, I do got notes down here. That's if you keep seeing me look down, that's why. But I feel like a lot of times we get stuck simply trying to survive, so we prevent ourselves from seeing like reality and the present, be stuck in like the past or bad habits and stuff like that. Which I don't like. Staying a version of yourself, I don't think is necessarily bad, because that version of yourself is the one that's being present and keeping you surviving, keep you going through the days. But sometimes you just gotta kind of be real with yourself. Even though you're surviving, you probably aren't living well. And I had to learn that a pretty hard way. It was just me surviving and not really being completely present. That could be through other things like depression or other mental illnesses or something. I personally was stuck and thought I thought because I was going to school and working a lot, I was doing good, but in reality I was neglecting myself and the relationships I had with other people. And it caused a lot, like, me to lose people that I've cared a lot about, and I had to learn to take a good look and like reflect on myself and how I carry myself, and take action to change that thing, like the things that I didn't like about myself, and a lot of people don't talk about this, but I feel like it kind of hurts to change who you are sometimes, because it feels like you're letting go of a part of yourself that brought you comfort for a long time. I feel like when I was changing and like letting go of my past, not really letting go, but learning how to just become a happier person and live, you know, I felt like I was letting go of like a part of myself and missing an era of my life that I was happy in, but I really wasn't living correctly. I felt comfortable, you know. Um, and a lot of my happiness didn't come from my own self-worth and like happiness. It came from other people. Like the time my girlfriend or, well, my ex now, or my friends, just being around them and stuff like that, which also not a bad thing, but you should have you should also gain happiness from your own life and being with yourself, Like, I'm not upset at the past version of myself because, bro, the kid was simply trying to survive and do things the best way he knew how to do. Even though I messed up a lot, made a bunch of bad decisions, caused a lot of people to distance themselves or just simply didn't want me in their life anymore, which is understandable, Made a lot of decisions that hurt myself and other people. But coming to terms with that and being able to forgive myself and understand that I had to change in order to be happy in my own life allowed me to actually appreciate myself and other people around me, like those relationships, and actually being more present in those relationships. You might be hearing my cat. His name is Luna. The biggest thing that I felt like There you go. Felt like that improved was just like my happiness. Finally being able to feel just simple happiness, and not looking for it, just waking up feeling good about my days, you know? Sometimes this might not make a lot of sense, or not might not be that like structured. Once again, this is just me talking. But if you ever feel like the world is ending or your life is spiraling out of control, it's probably not. It's probably just time for you to make some changes in your life, or it's like life opportunity to show you that you need changes. Kind of like a wake up call, you know? Don't fight it. It won't work. Just sit with it, feel your emotions, understand your past. Understand your past also. Not in a way that you regret it, but in a way that you understand, like a way of understanding why you made those decisions and like who you were. That's just how you survived at that time in your life, you know? How you're able to stay functioning as a person. Change is natural, so don't fight it. And try to make the change ways to improve your life. And the people around you, you know, be kind. Make sure the people around you know that you appreciate and care about them, you know, that you love them. But change also doesn't always mean bad, but it also doesn't always mean good. Because sometimes you can change to be a worse version of yourself, you know? Like, I'm not trying to tell you that just because you have change in your life means that it's going to be a good or a positive thing. Sometimes you might become like a worse person, almost a badder. A worse person than who you were before. It simply depends on how you are and how you decide to take control of the change. I can't give you like a step-by-step like plan of how to change. Like, this isn't some like fucking better yourself guru on YouTube or something. Just some nerd talking about his life, you know? But because we're all different and have our own lives and our own problems, the things that work for me doesn't technically mean it'll work for you, you know? Everyone has their own stories. Everyone has their own day-to-day. I don't know what's going on in your life. Like, you don't know what's going on in mine. So, if it's constructive for you, that's good. First, I took a lot of time to do self-reflecting and on my past and on my present. Just trying to figure out who I was during that time and like what did I want to turn myself into. If I'm feeling negatively about myself, why do I feel negative about myself? What can I do to make myself feel better about myself? Like, just questioning those thoughts and questioning the way I feel about things helped a lot. And when I mean reflecting, like, it won't feel good. Because you gotta be real with yourself, you know? Don't act like you were perfect or that it was, like, that it was oh my god, anyone else's fault but yours, because it is your life, you know? There is other causes for the way you behave or the way that you do certain things. But at the end of the day, it's still your life. It's for you to take control of, you know? And that's coming from somebody with diagnosed ADHD and depression, you know? I just have to figure out how to work with it. If you're hurting someone that you cared about, or you're actively hurting people around you in real life, understand that can't, like, That's not who you want to be. Hey, if you do, you're just a jackass. But, and it's not who you are, because you change every day, you know? You're not always the same person. We're human. We can change, you know? Humans are capable of change if you want to. Um, don't run from it. Because the people that decide to be present in your life every day, they don't run from it. They understand who you are and they care about you. So that's why they stay in your life. Some people don't. Some people care about you but understand that their peace should be protected. So they still try to separate themselves from you. But you running from it while they are being present, it's also a spit in their face. Because they're there for you, you know? We're all there for each other. Reflect on your habits. Figure out the ones that you have are good and bad for yourselves. Then try to take steps into changing them. I said and thought of things that could improve my quality of life and ways to actually do them and stay without losing motivation, because some days you just aren't motivated to do things, which is understandable, but you just have to. If you don't, you're just gonna stay stuck. And staying stuck, I feel like, is poison, because you get comfortable. You don't reach for more. Reaching for more always isn't a good thing, but you always should be trying to better yourself. Always trying to figure out ways to be kinder and just kinder to yourself. We're all young, you know? We're all still trying to figure out life. And you are also just trying to figure out how to live, you know? Life is a hard thing, especially if you're doing it by yourself. And lastly, I had to have a lot of hope and trust in myself that I knew everything would be alright. And that I would see the goals. I had to figure out things that I enjoyed doing. Made a lot of small projects, you know. Starting this. Started posting like funny things on Instagram and TikTok just as a hobby. And they're starting to do really good. Instagram, I have multiple videos with 100,000 plus views, and that feels nice. It just shows me that if I really try, I can do things, and my quality of life has been changing, and I've just been feeling more alive, you know. I also try to be kinder, even the people you don't know. If you're kind to everyone's gonna be kind to you, you know? You're gonna get back what you put in the world. And if you're just putting negativity in the world, you're just gonna get negativity in your life. I try to be as kind as possible, because for a long time I realized that I was becoming like an angry person or stubborn. And that self-reflection made me realize I didn't want to be just like some stubborn guy that didn't know how to change for himself and like to better himself and to be a better version for the people you care about. For me, what made me realize that was my ex leaving me. I just couldn't give her what she wanted. The person that she wanted just wasn't me at the time. And I don't believe that you can force somebody to change. The change has to come when they're ready to. Because even after we broke up, it still took a really long time for me to actually start changing. Because I was just grieving or like upset that that era of my life had ended. Because I still care about her, you know. The friends that I've lost, I still care about them. A lot of times I wish I could go back and talk to those people. not out of a way to get back into your life, but like in a way just to, I don't know, just just to talk to them, apologize in a meaningful way, because I wasn't present. I wasn't the best I can be. Um, but hey, that was just me learning. We're all just learning from our experiences. Um, Also, don't blame your mental illnesses on everything. I have ADHD, but I can't blame that solely on. Yes, a lot of my procrastination and hyperfixations and just like not being able to stay focused has to do with it. Um, but like, that's also my job to make sure that I'm able to function still and not just let it push me through. Also, change. The reason I think change is not a good or a bad thing because you can change and allow life to just push you through it. And if you don't really take control of the change, then it can turn you into a bad person. I've had a lot of friends who this has happened to where they aren't critical or constructive about their actions. Um, and they make a lot of bad decisions. And it's saddening watching them. And, but that's their life, man. You can't judge people on how they want to live their lives unless they're actively hurting people. If they're not hurting people, that's just how they want to live. Just gotta let them. It's not your life. You're only in control of yourself. Um, but yeah. And for example, one big change that I made was changing my major. Um, I was going to school to be a graphic designer, but I realized I was only going to school for graphic design to make other people proud of me. I wasn't going to school to make myself proud. Um, First, I believed I had during that time I believed that you had needed to go to school to be like an accomplished adult. Um, and I also was going to school for graphic design specifically because I grew up going to school for painting and drawing, and I thought that was the only way I could actually make money off of art. But then while doing it, I realized I didn't really care about it. I started just doing it just to have something to do. So I took a long time researching different fields to work in that I'll actually feel comfortable doing and enjoying it, having fun, learning something new. I really like learning new things. I found out my cat in his litter box. But so I found something. I found computer science, and I found it interesting. Um, so I changed my major after 2 months of thinking about it, and now I'm starting computer science, which is fun. That change in my life, finding things that is actually meaningful to me, and doing those things instead of just coasting through life and trying to survive the way I knew. Trying new stuff. But once again, in order to do that, you need hope in yourself and in the future that the current you is able to think about. You can't predict the future. You only can plan for it. If the current you believe this is something that will make you happy, then I believe that you should do it. Be critical of the plan. Don't put too much, Luna. Don't put too much, the plan fails, it fails. You fail out a lot of things. But as long as you're able to, bounce back, learn from your failure, good. So, just change. Allow yourself to change. Be moldable. Change isn't always bad. Have hope in yourself. and believe in it, that you can do it, you know? And I believe you that you can do it. I hope this all makes sense, you know? I promise you I'm not under any substances. This is just me talking after work. Yeah. Just try to better yourself at every moment you can. And it will be nice when you're able to actually do it, you know? It's gonna take a long time. It's gonna hurt. It might even cause you to lose who you are. And that happened to me. Had an image of myself about a year and a half ago. That image was shattered, and it took a minute for me to recuperate myself. But I was still able to do it, you know? Still able to bounce back even better. And that's what really matters. Being able to understand that sometimes in life you might have to lose who you are in order to change to something better. It's kind of like a wake-up call to show you who you are. Like Chief Keef said, there's only one way from down. Bitch, we're going up. Okay?